call for Stephen Kerr to be followed by Paul McLennan. Up to 4 minutes. Mr. Kerr.
Well, I congratulate Michelle Thompson on her motion and indeed on her speech. And I completely agree with her about the importance of us coming together and celebrating with some patriotic fervour what it means to be Scottish and bringing us all together, as we saw, I think, last Tuesday, when, and indeed in this chamber the next day, when there was much celebration of what had been achieved by Scotland's men's football team. But St Andrew's Day does need to be better celebrated and better embraced by us here at home, and inviting the rest of the world to join us in such a celebration is a first-class idea. It is one of the world's oldest national days. It's rooted deep in the story of Scotland. The 14th century, I think, was mentioned. I couldn't quite catch the number. It's very ancient, shall we say that. And reference was made as well, of course, to the Declaration of Arbroath in 1320, the famous address to Pope John XXII, seeking recognition of Scotland. And there, in black ink on parchment, they named St Andrew as the nation's patron and protector. This was no ornamentation. They were presenting Scotland's cause as part of a divine story, placing Andrew at the heart of the Scottish identity, a symbol of faith, freedom and nationhood. And that symbolism endured into the Union of 1707. Article 1 of the Treaty of Union required a new flag, combining the crosses of St George and St Andrew. And discussions ensued that neither cross dominated, producing a Union flag that visually represented a partnership of the two nations. Scotland's identity and Andrew's legacy were therefore woven directly into the fabric of the new United Kingdom. And in the centuries after the Union, St Andrew's importance has only grown. His saltire has become a marker of pride and heritage, and St Andrew's Society has emerged right across the Scottish diaspora, especially in North America, helping communities abroad maintain their culture, customs and traditions. Our celebrations helped make St Andrew's Day internationally recognised long before it was formally recognised, even here at home. I give way to Keith Brown.
Keith Brown.
Just following up on what the member was saying, and also the intervention previously heard from Kenny Gibson, the member may be aware that 1028, so in 2 years' time, marks the 1000th anniversary of the tale when King David I was gored by a stag, or about to be gored by a stag, in Holyrood Park, and then a cross appeared in the stag's antlers, which gave this place, this Parliament, its name, Holy Cross or Holyrood. And does he think we should be looking to make sure, does the member think, we should look to make sure that we commemorate that as well as a part of Scotland's heritage?
Stephen Kerr.
Oh, absolutely. We should miss no opportunity to come together and celebrate our Scottishness and Scotland among ourselves and also before the rest of the world. But I want to raise a serious point as well, if you will allow me, Presiding Officer, and that is in relation to the issue I raised in connection with the Union. Because often, I have to say that, in fact, I've lost count of the number of times that my support for Scotland's place within the United Kingdom has led some on the other side of the argument, the constitutional argument, to question my love for my country. But I am first and foremost patriotically Scottish. I love Scotland, the people, the history, the way of life we enjoy. It's worth defending. And I wish to quote George Orwell, who once drew a clear line between patriotism and nationalism. Patriotism, he wrote, is a devotion to a particular place and way of life. Nationalism is about power. And too often in Scotland, the government seeks to fuse the two, insisting that loyalty to one party, the SNP, is loyalty to Scotland itself, questioning their policies or their performance in government, and you are often accused of talking Scotland down, and it just isn't true, because patriotism includes the duty to challenge a government when it fails. And this Scottish Government has presided over decline in education and manufacturing and the freedoms that have long defined Scottish life. Burns captured the danger of elites acting in their own interest rather than the common good. In The Jolly Beggars, he wrote, "A fig for those by law protected, liberty's a glorious feast. Courts for cowards were erected, churches built to please the priest." Those lines remind us that power can serve itself if left unchecked, a lesson that resonates today. So I conclude, Presiding Officer, because I remain hopeful, because Scotland the real Scotland remains the best place in the world, hard-working, open, neighbourly and honest. We have a way of life worth preserving. Above the doors of this Parliament are the words of Alistair Gray. Work as if you live in the early days of a better nation. That is a call to hope, not partisanship.
Thank you.